Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Carissa and you're watching 324 Crafts. So for today's video we are going to talk about my 26 projects that I am planning for 2026. I have a Pinterest board all set up for this. It'll be in the description if you want to look for any of these patterns, because I think I've got patterns for pretty much all of them. A ton of them are paid patterns, but I'm trying to do that a little bit more this year than I have been. I'm wanting to support some more creators this year. So without further ado, we will hop right into this and talk about my 26 projects. If you see me looking down, I am using my iPad to just reference my Pinterest board, and I will put pictures up for every pattern that I have. So our very first pattern is this absolutely adorable bow blanket. It is called the Bobble Dot Bow by Stuck On You Crochet, and I am just so in love with this blanket, guys. It is so incredible. It's the very first pattern that I put on this Pinterest board for these 26 projects, and I am just so in love with it. It is so perfect and I'm so excited to make it. I think I'm wanting to make it in either a purple or a pink. My favorite color is purple, but I have been really leaning towards pink colors this year, so I'm not sure what color I want to do yet. If you have an idea, leave a comment. Maybe I'll do a different color, who knows, but I am in love with this pattern. Our second pattern on the list is a knit sock pattern. I'm wanting to get into a little bit of knitting this year. A couple of our patterns are going to be different than crochet on this list. I'm wanting to get into a couple of new hobbies. So our first knit pattern on here is some knit socks. They are called the Woodland Socks, and this is by wildberry.com. And I am so excited to try to learn to knit. I mentioned this in my last video, but I have knit a little bit. I'm not very great at it, and I'm not very in-depth in the knowledge of knitting, but I'm wanting to change that this year. And I was initially going to try to knit some socks for Christmas, and I very vastly underestimated the techniques and the challenge of knitting socks, but it is something that I'm wanting to conquer this year. And so that is the very first knit pattern on here. I'm not going to do these in any order like of the year. I'm going to do them as I please, but that is our first knit pattern on our Pinterest board. Our next pattern or inspiration is just this cute crochet lamb. I have some of this faux fur yarn and so many people are using it recently, but I struggled the first time I tried to use it, as a lot of people do, I think. But I am really just loving how soft this looks and how sweet it looks, and I am really wanting to kind of elevate my amigurumi more than just small plushies, so this looks like the absolutely perfect project for that. Our next pattern is just inspiration. There is no set pattern for it, but I am wanting to make this Formula One blanket. I'm going to maybe include my favorite driver numbers on here instead of just putting the logos for the teams, because there are new teams this year. There are 11 teams instead of 10, so it would mess it up a little bit with the numbers and whatnot of making a blanket. But I'm really excited about the prospect of this, as I'm wanting to get into Formula One a little bit more this year. So I'm super stoked about making this blanket, and as you'll see, there are quite a few blankets on this Pinterest board and on my list for 2026, but I love blankets. They are absolutely one of my favorite things to make. I love how cozy they are. You can never have enough blankets, and so I'm super stoked about all the blankets that I'm planning on making this year. We have another kind of inspo pick. I'm not sure if there's a pattern for this anywhere. I couldn't find one from this particular pin, but it's these pillows, and I'm really wanting to make them for our bed. And then once we finally get an apartment or a house, I want to put these on our couch. I'm not sure what colors I'm wanting to do yet, but I'm really thinking like an emerald green would be so pretty for these, and I'm so stoked about it. I've never made pillows before, but I've done tapestry, and so I've thought about it, but I've never done it before, and these just are like a perfect cuddle pillow kind of shape, and so I'm super stoked about making those. Our next project is a sewing project. I'm really wanting to get more into that this year. I recently made a t-shirt quilt and I really enjoyed it, and so I'm wanting to kind of delve into that hobby a little bit. It is this Gone Fishing t-shirt, It's a little bit scrappy, so I think it would be a perfect project for me because you can kind of hide your mistakes in it. And so I thought this was super cute. I love going fishing with my boyfriend, and so I thought this was just a really cute kind of homemade looking project to make. Our next project on the list is super simple and easy, and is this granny stripe poncho. It has been over my Pinterest everywhere. I mean 1,000 times, and I know it's super simple, but I have just been, every time I see it, I want to make it so bad because I think it would be a perfect scrap project. And even not just making it, I just would, it's not even cold here, guys, but I just, every time I see this poncho, I want to make it. I just need to make it. And I have been so much more into wearables recently, and I just want to make this so badly. Another sewing project with an inspo pick is this hoodie with stingrays on it. I absolutely love stingrays. They're one of my favorite animals, and we live in Florida, so it would just be kind of a perfect thing to put on a t-shirt or a hoodie, maybe even a sweatshirt. But I just think that this would be absolutely perfect. And I think, once again, it's kind of a scrappy project, so I could hide a lot of mistakes while I'm learning to sew. And so I just think that this is another one of those projects that would be absolutely perfect for me this year while I'm learning how to do that. Our next project is a tapestry crochet, and here in our Pinterest board, you're going to notice I got very into like grandma core, antique style kind of projects, and I don't know what came over me, but I have just recently been loving that style. And so this particular tapestry, it kind of feeds into that. It's a deer tapestry, and I'm just so excited about it. I don't even know what to say. It looks so grandma core, and it looks so antique, and I have just been loving that style lately, and so I think that this would fit perfectly into that. And I'm also just wanting to really get more into tapestries. I did quite a few, maybe not even last year, maybe the year before, and I really loved it, and so I think that this would be fun to get me back into that. Another crochet wearable that I do have a pattern for, it is this really beautiful crochet top. It's very like airy, so I think that would be perfect for me to wear here in Florida, which is one of the reasons why I picked it. It is by Normal Crochet. I'm so sorry if I butchered that, but this is a paid pattern, but it is just so beautiful. And honestly, I'm not even thinking about changing the colors. I love the colors that she did. The pink and tan just looks so beautiful together. I might change it, or I might just have to make multiple. I love the design. I love how airy it is. So once again, where we live is really hot and humid, so I think that this would be a perfect project for me. Our next amigurumi project is Ostara the Sleepy Fawn. This is by TTCG Craft. This is such a unique pattern. I've never seen anything like it before, and I just have to make it because of the absolute creativity that went into this. I think it is so beautiful. I don't know what I'll do with it when I finish it, but I just absolutely loved it, and I thought that it was absolutely so unique. And once again, I've never seen anything like it before. I mean, it literally, I'm not sure how big it will work up, but it looks absolutely huge. And once again, I'm wanting to kind of get away from smaller amigurumi, and so I think that this is a perfect project to get me away from that. Our next project is a quilted crochet pattern. It's not like a crochet puff quilt. It is a pattern that literally looks like a quilt, and because I'm wanting to get into quilting but not nearly as confident as I am with crochet, I think that this would be absolutely perfect. This is the Stargazer blanket by Emma Varnam. Once again, if I butchered your name, I'm so sorry, but I absolutely loved this. The colors are beautiful. The construction looks perfect. I am, once again, such a blanket aficionado. I love blankets so much, and this just looks absolutely perfect for me to make this next year. Another blanket for you guys, and this is the Country Apple Orchid. This is the Country Apple Orchid crochet Afghan pattern. Yeah, grandma core, antique, it looks perfect, and I just love it. And I'm thinking about putting this on the back of my futon in my other room. I just love everything about this. I love the colors that they used. I love the way that it is constructed. This was one of my favorite picks for the Pinterest board. We have another sewing project. This is the Crescent Bag sewing pattern. This looks so much like a bagoo bag to me, but I loved that front pocket that it has. And this is kind of one of the very first real sewing patterns I want to try to make. I just really love this. I don't really have any real purses. I use a lot of like the backpack purses. That's kind of the style I prefer. But I really think that this could be a good alternative for me, and making it myself would really also just be super nice. And I just would love to see if I could execute that kind of sewing pattern. Our next pattern is the King and Queen's Vest by Sunflower and Crochet. I loved everything about this. I love how it looks kind of bigger. I like my clothes to be that way. I like comfy kind of a fit, and I just love the way this looks. I'm not sure what colors I'll do yet, but I am absolutely sure that I'll be making it, because I am kind of getting into a style where you wear long sleeves under like a bigger top, and this would be so perfect for that. And I am so excited. This is a paid pattern, but I am so excited to support this creator by buying it and making it. Our next project is the Persian Tiles blanket. This is just a reference photo. One of my great friends, Cookie Dough Crochet, made this with her scrap yarn, and that is my plan. I'm hoping that kind of by the end of the year I will have enough scraps to make this with all scrap yarn, and if not, I'll perfectly fine just making it, because it is absolutely so beautiful. I loved the outcome of hers, and so I'm so inspired to make this pattern thanks to her. But when I seen it, I knew I had to put it on the list. Our next crochet pattern is a laptop cover. I'm wanting to kind of make things for my appliances so that I can start carrying them around with me, and I loved this gingham pattern, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to make it in the yellow. Yellow is also one of my favorite colors. I absolutely love how bright and springy this looks, and I think that it would be a perfect project for me to make this year. And I also think that the color changing would be a really great challenge, because I don't think I've ever done anything quite like this before. Our next crochet pattern, we have a lot of those because that's what I prefer to do, is the Sabrina crochet cardigan pattern. I just love how open and airy this is. Once again, I think it'd be perfect for where I live. It'd be perfect to pair up on top of something, and I really think it would be perfect for summertime or wintertime. You could layer it up in the winter, and I think that the stitch is really beautiful. I'm not sure exactly what stitch it is, but I absolutely love the construction of it and how it looks, and I just think that it would be so beautiful to wear. Another crochet top, I've put a lot of those on here, is the Funky Top Down cardigan, and I love the way that this looks. It looks a little grandma, it looks a little chic. I love the button work. I've never put buttons on anything, so I'm wanting to challenge myself to try and do that this year. But I love just the way that the yarn fell for her, the colors did, and so I'm definitely wanting to use a variegated yarn for this. That way I can kind of get that color way that she also got. I really like the way the colors changed on her top, and I think this would be perfect for the summer and spring. Our next project is another amigurumi. It is the Jelly Bee crochet pattern, and I just love the way that this bee is constructed. It's not like the normal bees that you typically see in the crochet world. My mom also just loves bees. Her nickname is Lizzie Bee, and so I think that this would be a perfect thing for me to make at markets, and also just give her one because I know she would love it. But I just love the construction of this bee and how it kind of looks more like a natural bee rather than the way that most crochet bees look. And so I am super excited about making this pattern by Oak and Marlowe. I think this is our last sewing project on here, but it is a super simple scrappy. That's kind of what I'm into, but it is another scrappy project, and I just think it is super simple and super sweet, and I really think that it would just be so much fun to make and put on a t-shirt so I could wear it all the time. But I love the heart in the middle, and I think even then you could do like some matching patterns as well, like on the sides, which is kind of what I'm thinking about doing. And then the other two squares on the other sides of the squares kind of be two other different patterns that you have. I just think that this would be such a fun and cute project to make. Our next project on here is another bag, and I'm absolutely stoked about it. I have never made the African flower granny squares before, but this bag, I loved the way it was constructed. I was actually looking for a crochet bag to put on this list, and most of them that I found were all the very square shaped bags. And I loved the shape of this bag. I absolutely love how it looks more like a regular purse, and so I am absolutely so excited to make this. I'm actually ordering the rings for it later today, and I am just so excited to make this bag. I can't even tell you. And honestly, I'm thinking about even keeping the colors, and I'm thinking about maybe putting emerald green where that white is and doing brown and green. I think that would be really beautiful, but we will see when we get there. But I am super stoked about this bag. Our next project is this Jellycat bunny. I'm not sure if there's a pattern for this or not. If there is, I will try to link it down below. But I love the kind of dual hobby that this is, where it is crochet but you also get to sew some fabric on this. I think it is super cute. I think it kind of reminds me of a traditional stuffed animal like I used to have when I was a kid, where there's fabric and also kind of the furry part. I loved that. I used to collect some bears that were like that, and so I think that this is a really great project and I'm really loving it, and I think that this just looks amazing and so super cute. Our next project is the Charlotte top. This is another crochet top. The sleeves look very open, the stitch looks very open. I'm keep repeating myself, but I'm really wanting to find some crochet clothing that I can make that is wearable for where I live. But I think that this just looks super pretty. I love to wear this for a date night with my boyfriend or even an outing with my family. I really love the way that this looks, and I love the details on the neckline and the bottom. It just looks so beautiful, and I am so excited to make this pattern. I'm thinking about maybe making it in like a deep purple. That's my favorite color, but I think that it would look so beautiful, and I think with even a darker color you would be able to see the details on the arms easier, and so that's kind of my plan for this one. Finally, a small pattern that I'm super excited about. These are the Flower Frangipane Hibiscus bag charms, and I absolutely love these. I love the way how summery they look. I love the details like in the middle where you use eyeshadow. I've seen a lot of people do that. I've not yet done that with anything I've made, and so I think it would be super fun to try that. And so I am super excited about these. I'll probably make 1,000 and give them to everybody I know, because I think once I start making them, I'm not going to want to stop. They just look so cute, and they would be perfect on bags or luggage, which I'm also thinking about doing. I want to make some to match my luggage, and I think that would be super cute. I believe this is our last pattern. It is a knit pattern. It is a knit sweater. The pattern for this is linked with this pin, so go to the Pinterest board in the description and all of these patterns will be there. But I am so excited to get into knitting, and I think that this looks very simple. I looked at the instructions for it. I think it's something I can handle. So I am super excited about this. I think it would be perfect to make for before Thanksgiving and the holidays, to make that and then we'll be able to wear it. I think that would be a lot of fun, and I love the construction of it. I love how comfy it looks, and I kind of like that the sleeves are not the cinched sleeves at the bottom with the cuff. I like that it's kind of open, and so I think that this would be a perfect make for me towards the end of the year. Alright guys, that was my 26 projects that I want to make in 2026. I already have some plans to make some of these super soon, so I would really appreciate it if you guys stuck around, hit that subscribe button, and look for the next time I post, because we will be making a lot of these projects super soon, and I am so excited about this journey with you guys, and I'm so incredibly thankful that you are here and supporting me by watching this or liking or sharing it or whatever you choose to do. I am so thankful that you were here today, and I hope that you stick around to see all of these projects get made. I appreciate you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.